know. All right. Obviously, we have attacking through Tor as well. So attacking through Tor is cool. One of the things that, Val was talking about was something called a published service inside of Tor. So essentially what you could do is you could have your reverse shell kick back to a .onion address. So essentially you own a box in the network and you load this Tor client. And this Tor client needs to be able to connect to the Tor network. So, obviously there's an egress issue. They need to be able to connect to the Tor network. And once they can connect to the Tor network, this .onion address that is your box inside of Tor can only be resolved by Tor hosts. So you're just connecting to some random IP address out on the internet, but once your client, your Trojan, gets into the Tor network, it can resolve these .onion addresses where your host is at. So I'm thinking that's kind of some cool shit. I only have one client who actually allowed me to try it. And then it was only one of those okay, Joe, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up these 2 demo machines. You're gonna load the client. So I really didn't get to use it in a pen test, officially use it. It was more like proof of concept demo. But that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking we'll be doing more of in the future. As long as you can get clients to say that they're willing to try it. All right, are we forgetting something? What about web application firewalls? All right, well, I had the unfortunate torture of my life of doing, oh God, I think I must have done 10 or 12 PCI pen tests a month for the last 2 years. I did a ton of PCI pen testing. And one of the miracle things that the PCI Council came up with in their infinite wisdom was if you have a vulnerability like cross-site scripting, SQL injection, or any other web vulnerability, you must institute secure coding practices. Smart, huh? Or you can deploy a web application firewall. So literally, it's an authorized mitigation. Hey, dude, I have SQL injection. I don't need to fix it. I can buy a WAF. I have cross-site scripting. I don't need to fix it. There you go. Okay, let's try this one more time. I have cross-site scripting. I don't need to fix it. Exactly. So you run into this and you're like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. So the same things that we did when we were detecting load balancing, we can do that to detect web application firewalls. We'll make requests to the web server. We'll look at the HTTP responses and the server header to see what happens. You make a request, a valid request, see what happens. You send a malicious request, and you see what happens. So you send your valid request for index.php. You send your invalid request with a script alert, and you'll see that you'll get a different error page. Or you might get the same page, but if you read the actual HTTP response code, you'll see that it's changed somehow. So, identifying web application firewalls is kind of like finding the red light district at North Station. It was really, really easy. You get off the train, you're oh wow, look at all the lights. Finding a web application firewall is pretty much the same way. If you have anything in your packet that remotely resembles a tick, double quotes, less than sign, greater than sign, exclamation point. This thing coughs up and goes, dude, I'm a web application firewall. So some things that I ran into. Here we break out curl again. So I curl, and now I just ask for cmd.exe. Mod security, if you ask for if you send a malicious request, instead of giving you a 404 or something like that, it generally gives you an error code 501, method not implemented. So let's say you ask for cmd.exe, nc.exe, or any malicious request, he immediately goes, hey dude, method 501, that's not implemented. Well, now what you can do is you can start enumerating the web application firewall rule sets. Okay, because the first thing that you're going to find with most web application firewalls is even if you're detected, they're not going to block your IP address. So you can do this all damn day. Next one I ran into, one that was called Actronics. I thought this was really interesting because if you sent a malicious request, so like here you see it, I'm sending for Sense927, which is a tick. Look at the response code, 999. no hacking. I was like, whoa, better not try to hack this box. All right, well, here's some other ones. This is what you should see. You know, you do your percent sign, 27, you enter your single tick. You should see this bad boy go, dude, whatever you're asking for, I ain't got it. Some other stuff. Okay, how does the web application firewall handle encodings? So start checking out, how does it handle UTF-7, UTF-8, UTF-16, base64, hex? How does it handle all these things? Does it handle octal? What does it do when you send it these things? One of the things that I found with some devices was I would get a 200 OK for the page I was trying to request, but if there was malicious content in it, you see how I get a 200 condition intercepted. So it was one of those things I kind of ran into. I was like, oh, that's kind of different. So as soon as you start seeing these things, you can start saying, okay, here's what the web application firewall does to me when I send a malicious request. So enter WAF Woof. Now there's a guy who's here, his name is Sandro Gacci. Dude is a freaking ninja with some Python. So if you ever get to hang with Sandro or talk to him, he was here teaching the voice over IP pen testing. Dude is a badass. Him and Wendell came up with this tool called WAF Woof. So I contributed a couple of signatures to the project. I'm a big believer in it. Definitely go out, check out Enable Security, and see what Sandro's doing with voice over IP and with the WAF stuff. And then we're looking for people to help dev this tool. It's real simple Python code, and I just really like where it's going. So he's got WAF Woof. He's also got a new tool in development called WAF Fun, where essentially the goal is to brute force web application firewall rule sets. And I really like that as well. That's the kind of tool that, guys, if you have a WAF and you want to tell me what your website is, you don't mind me like giving it the beat down once in a while, please holler on it, brother. You know what I mean? So definitely run WAF Woof. It'll come back, it'll tell you what you're up against. Another one that I really like is Gary O'Leary-Steele's tool called Unicode Fun. So what you can do is you can just take any attack string, you know, your script alert or your SQL injection string, and then it'll automatically put it in Unicode. So that's where I get a lot of my attack strings. I'll just say, okay, or1 and select user tick or1 equals 1, and then have it put it in Unicode for you, and then try. You will be surprised at just how many web application firewalls this lets you walk right past. You will be surprised at just how many IPSs this lets you walk right past. And it's just flat out freaking scary. All right, so attacking websites through Tor. Everybody knows that you could just like crack open Tor, hit the Tor button in Firefox, go do your thing, right? All right, one that I ran into on a pen test recently, and I hope no one here actually works for .NET Defender. Does anybody? Okay, cool. So I ran into this on a pen test, and I thought it was the funniest thing, because like you do your attack, and this bad boy is like, .NET Defender has blocked your request. You're kind of like, okay, all right, cool. Yeah, danger, Will Robinson, danger. So then this thing blew me away, because like straight SQL injection, look at this, guys, no encoding at all. .NET Defender was like, yeah, dude, let it go. Looks good to me. So then I was like, okay, let me try a couple of other statements, right? So here you can see, this is the funniest shit. I'm asking for the database user. It tells me, hey, this is a $10 billion bank, by the way. Just in case you were curious. So $10 billion bank with all these security things, web application firewall and an IPS. Let's go through that one more time. Web application firewall and tipping point. So straight SQL injection, website's running as DBO. Now, when I tried to say select at version, .NET Defender blocks me. So when I put at version in Unicode with that Gary O'Leary-Steele tool, that's what you're looking at right there, this bad boy coughs up the version. Too easy. So then, if I ask for the admin passwords, no encoding, no encryption, nothing, .NET Defender's like, yeah, dude, sure, take it. Sure. So it just blew me away. I'm standing there looking at this, and then I went back after the pen test, and I'm showing the people the report, and I'm like, yeah, I got the admin credentials off the public website, and got to look at a bunch of stuff, and your web application firewall sucks. And they were kind of like, okay, thank you. Okay, and then I said, hey me. All right, guys, so getting into the LAN from the web. All right, one of the things that I'm finding for me still works. It doesn't work quite as well, but SQL injection from the web to get into the LAN still works. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. So it still works. SQL Ninja, still use it quite a bit because I run into so much ASP when I'm pen testing. A lot of ASP, a lot of ASP.NET. Finding SQL injection and being able to upload a Trojan or an interpreter or something like that still works quite a bit for me. Not as much as it did a few years ago, obviously, but still works quite a bit. Okay? SQL Map. SQL Map, that dude who, I forgot his name, was like Bernardo or something. That dude who's been working on SQL Map, fucking ninja shit. So I really love what's going on. You can just say SQL Map -OS shell, and it'll let you drive a shell. You could say, -OS home, it'll upload an interpreter for you. Just absolutely wonderful. Okay, let's focus on the important stuff. The important stuff for us, we all know how to go own the box. But the really important stuff is not getting caught, right? So we don't want to be a tiger. We don't want to be Tiger Woods. Now let me just digress 1 second here. Hands up if you think Tiger's a punk. Okay, there's my people. There's my people. Come on, my Americans. Is Tiger a punk? Tiger's a punk. Tiger's a punk. Okay, now let me, I know I'm getting off track here, but this is important to me. Okay, if you're a billionaire, and you're the #1 golfer in the world, and you just happen to like sleeping with porn stars, and your wife gets upset about it, would you care? I'm just trying to make some, I would look at her like, well, so? I'm just making sure, is it just me? So? What do you mean you're upset? I'm fucking Tiger Woods, The fuck? Sit down, girl. I mean, I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. So, the other part that I don't get, if you're a billionaire, you have lawyers, right? Wouldn't your lawyers be informing your hoochies that, well, people have died in car accidents with bullets in their head. I'm just saying, if you got that kind of money, wouldn't you? Okay, let's get back to hacking. Sorry. All right, so first thing that I run into is filter evasion. So a lot of people, they find that they have vulnerabilities in their apps, so they'll put up some filters, and bypassing most filters is generally a joke. So client-side filtering. Someone will try to stop SQL injection or cross-site scripting with JavaScript. Okay, now let's go through this one more time. You're going to try and stop a server-side vulnerability with a client-side defensive mechanism. So here's what I do with the dev teams. I walk over to the dev, and I'm like, okay, Mr. Developer, JavaScript and VB script run where? And he kind of goes, on the computer. I'm like, yeah. SQL injection happens over here on the server, right? He says, yeah. So, okay, well, let's make sure I got this straight. You're going to put all the defensive mechanisms on the attacker's computer. He's like, yeah. I said, but doesn't the attacker have control of what happens on his computer? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, let's go through this. Do we ever trust the user? Ever? No. Okay, let's try it one more time. The defensive mechanisms are on the computer. And I just kind of go through this and go through this and go through this, and then finally the dev has one of these aha moments, like, maybe I should do server-side filtering. And you're like, yeah, maybe you should. Okay, next one is restricted blacklist. One of the things I'm starting to run into is people who do alphanumeric filtering only.